A new NBC News Decision Desk poll powered by SurveyMoney finds that a majority of Americans oppose the U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. 45% of people polled oppose the strikes, compared to 38% who said they support them. The poll also found that a majority of Americans, 60%, say that President Trump should have gotten congressional authorization before launching those strikes. Results are mixed when it comes to whether the U.S. should continue military operations if Iran's nuclear program remains intact. 41% say no further action should be taken, while 34% say yes, but only with airstrikes. Just over a quarter of the respondents believe all options, including boots on the ground, should be considered. Meanwhile, an overwhelming majority, nearly 80%, are very or somewhat concerned that military involvement in Iran could escalate into a broader conflict across the region. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. She is a member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. Congresswoman Dean, thank you very much for coming in.
Well, good morning.
Way too early.
It's way too early, but maybe it's not way too early to say happy birthday to my husband. Today's his birthday.
Well, that's very nice. I'm glad we had the chance to do that. Okay, I was a bit surprised by the poll results, given that we've just had airstrikes and not boots on the ground, but they seem to reflect a real anxiety amongst the American public across the board not to get involved in any more Middle East wars. Is that what you read into them?
I am surprised by those as well. I'm glad you started with that, because it reflects, I think, what we're thinking here in Congress. We know that what our military is capable of is extraordinary, exceptional, and I'm sure, no doubt, that the strikes in Iran reflect that excellence. But we don't know why exactly the president did that. We don't know what the imminent threat was, and we don't know what the result is. It was very troubling to me to see this ever-shrinking group of advisors and courtiers not agreeing on the intelligence, the president and his own intelligence community not in agreement, no essence of an imminent threat, and yet the move ahead with the strikes, and now no clarity on what the result has been. Again, the military is exceptional. Iran must never have a nuclear weapon, and I believe Iran's ambitions are malicious in that way. We're not naive to that, but no briefing of Congress before or after. This is a really incoherent, incompetent, erratic set of behaviors.
It's actually one of the few things there's bipartisan agreement on, that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon amongst Republicans and Democrats. Of course, the issue is how to get there. The House briefing on Iran was rescheduled for tomorrow, the one that had been cancelled earlier. What are you expecting from that briefing? Do you think you're going to get any more intelligence on how successful the strikes actually were?
I certainly hope so. I remember being here with briefers for the Trump administration 1, and how dissatisfying they were, as professional as many of the briefers were. But you saw with this scheduled then canceled briefing, and who's going to be doing the briefing, the administration doesn't have confidence in those who are coming in front of us. So I am lacking confidence. I certainly hope we will get real clarity on why the president went when he did without notification to Congress and what the results were.
Congresswoman, I suspect this is not a position you're in very often, but imagine that you are advising President Trump for a second. What is the case that you would make to the White House, to this White House, for coming to Congress?
The Constitution.
Beyond, is there a political value to him and to this operation?
Not only political,
in getting Congress involved.
Patriotic, an American set of values. After all, we are the closest representative to the people on the ground, members of Congress. The Senate have obviously much larger territories. You want to come to us because we are representatives of our constituents. The constituents want to know, when we use our military in that exquisite and extraordinarily dangerous way, they want to know why. And was it worth it? Is it a part of something that we should be doing? The risk is, of course, that we get ourselves in with bad information in another protracted war that asks for our boots on the ground, our blood and treasure. My constituents want to know about that. I have constituents who have men and women, sons and daughters in the military. They want to know before such a strike that we were advised under the Constitution. We have the power to declare war, not the president.
Before I let you go, I want to get your reaction to what the president said about NATO last night in The Hague. You and I have spoken about his attitudes to NATO. You're on the Foreign Relations Committee, of course. Is that it? Is the president now committed to NATO and to NATO members and American leadership of NATO? The president came into Trump 1 demonizing NATO. It's very troubling to me in my travels for Foreign Affairs Committee. The NATO partners don't understand the president and don't understand the demonization. They agree, many of them agree, that they need to increase their defense spending. So in that way, they are in agreement with the president. But they do not understand the demonization of them. And it hurts. It makes us weaker. You saw how the NATO partners had to really dance around this president in order to curry favor with him. They know how to deal with him and how to treat him. But when you have such an erratic leader of such an indispensable nation, it is very worrisome and it is weakening for America. Okay, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you, Katie.